Hey guys, this is Will Yates.
This is Crystal Yates, and you are listening to Marcy Grace on ETX ROCKS.
From the great state of Texas, this is the latest episode of the ETX ROCKS Show. Nestled in the piney woods of East Texas, the ETX ROCKS Show delivers the stories and songs of talented artists of all genres, all styles, from the unheralded and unheard to the legends and beyond. We bring a passion for music and a drive to go behind the curtain with our guests. We focus on all artists, from LA to New York, Nashville down to Texas, and everywhere in between. ETX is our location, not a limitation. Now, as always, it's viewers and listeners like you out there that are our biggest support for the show. If you want to contribute to the show, please do so by donating to www.paypal.me/ETXRocks. And thank you for tuning in. Wherever you're tuned in, please hit the like, follow, and or subscribe buttons. And now for another great episode of ETX Rocks. Hey guys, welcome to another great episode of the ETX Rocks Show. Now our guest in this episode is a powerhouse vocalist from San Antonio, Texas. Now she's also an extremely talented musician. She can play the drums, keyboard, guitar, and banjo. She's a self-described Americana artist who is bringing a unique twist to Texas radio, and Texas is definitely enjoying it as their first single last year, titled I Wanna, peaked at number 37 on the Texas radio charts. Her current single, Country Living 101, is also enjoying chart success. Now, with a bachelor's degree in music industry, Marcy Grace is ready for a lifetime of writing songs and changing people's lives with her music. Guys, this week we go behind the music with the one and only Marcy Grace. All right, so welcome to the ETX Rock Show. First time for Marcy Grace. How you doing, Marcy?
Good. How are you?
So you are from San Antonio, and I know that we've had this scheduled for a while, and you also have the songwriter competition going on in Lindale today.
Yeah.
That worked out pretty good.
It did.
And so you're going to play a song or two for us today. So tell us a little bit about the first song that you plan on playing.
I'm going to do a song called El Camino.
Okay.
And that's my favorite car. Like, I hope to own one by the time I'm 25. So, I don't know. I got a little bit of time, but we'll see.
They need to make a comeback.
I know. I love
Like,
them.
could you imagine, like, a 2018 El Camino? Like,
That would
I
be
think they would sell fast.
I think so.
Whoever came up with the idea of a car and a pickup,
Yeah.
I think it's just a smart idea.
Right.
So you guys check out this. This is El Camino by Marcy Grace.
He's got that cool free spirit retro vibe. A little rough around the edges, but that's alright. It don't matter if it's rain or shine, he'll always take me out for a drive, that's right. He's on mine.
All right, guys, so that was El Camino by the one and only Marcy Grace. Y'all, we'll be right back after this message from our sponsor, Eastgate.
Hey guys, this is Louise with the ETX ROCKS Show. Are you looking for a high-energy rock band for your club or party? Well, look no further than our friends from the band Eastgate. Eastgate is ready to perform wherever you need them. With original material and their own unique spin on carefully selected cover tunes, Eastgate brings an awesome experience for up to a 4-hour set. Book them at www.eastgaterockband.com. Again, that's www.eastgaterockband.com.
Okay, so we are back with Marcy Grace from San Antonio, Texas. She just got through playing El Camino, and we want to thank Eastgate for sponsoring this episode. Definitely appreciate those guys and gal from Eastgate for hooking us up, especially with those decals for the car, which eventually we'll get on there. But
Nice.
Marcy Grace has a big thing tonight. You're in that songwriting competition out there in Lindale. That's kind of, I guess it's in tribute in memory of Matt Gansel.
It is, yeah.
And I remember her and I met because you were in East Texas doing an interview with Matt
Right.
earlier. Well, I guess it was last year now.
Yeah, it was, I'm glad I got to meet him and get to know him as much as I did, and I know he was a blessing to many, and I'm just blessed to have, gotten to know him.
Absolutely. And, she's, when we met her in Lindale, she was so quiet. And if you meet Holly Tucker and Marcy Grace on the same day, and I met them both on the same day for the first time, they're completely different.
Yeah.
Holly's very outspoken, and Marcy's just kind of, under the radar a little bit. But, man, when you start singing, that all changes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Where does that come from?
I don't know. I feel most comfortable when I'm singing or when I'm performing on stage, and that just feels like that's where I can truly, be myself and kind of, show things a little more. But I don't know, it just kind of comes out.
Do you feel like you're two different people at times?
Not necessarily. I'm just a more, I guess, outgoing, version of myself on stage.
Just kind of turn the volume up a little bit on it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Because, I've seen some live performances of yours on YouTube, and, of course, your official videos and stuff like that. And, you put on a really good show.
Thank you.
And, I love the upbeat factor with you. You have my toes tapping and people dancing and all of that. Cool. Is there a strategy behind your music in that way? Because sometimes you listen to an album and there'll be a fast song and a slow song, but for you, it's a lot of movement and a lot of heaviness to it.
I think a lot of it is I just try to live a really positive life. So I just try to be positive about anything. If maybe something's disappointing, I say, well, there's a reason for that. So I just, move on. And so maybe that comes out in my music in a way, and I just, want to have an upbeat, positive life, so I don't know, I guess my songs come out that way.
Yeah, they're definitely happy songs for sure, for the most part. Not all of them, but...
Right. I have a few bad girl songs in there.
And you, as a younger artist, you're still a younger artist, but younger than you are now, you pretty much started as a pop artist.
I did, yeah.
And there's still a lot of pop influence in your sound, but how has that evolved over time for you as an artist?
I think I've kind of kept that side of myself in my music. Like you said, it still has a little bit of that pop influence. And I just think that, I wrote one country song, and I just kept writing country after that. But I still, wanted to keep that kind of, Sheryl Crow kind of, she was one of my favorite artists. So I kind of love that style where she kind of does the country thing, but it still has that kind of rock pop kind of.
I think Sheryl Crow was really Americana before there was Americana, I think.
Right.
People really didn't know when Sheryl was, really hitting the road big time. People really didn't know what to call her.
Yeah.
As far as genre goes. I think here in the 21st century, that's a lot of artists now, that are kind of genreless.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a word?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we'll go with that.
If not, we made it one.
But yeah, there's some Sheryl Crow there in your sound, some Alanis Morissette, that 90s alternative rock kind of feel to it with some pop edges. And then there is the country side of it too. Like with Country Livin 101, the lyrics are so country. And I'll be honest, you know, I was listening to your album Fireworks, which is real heavily pop, I think. And then I listened to Country 101 and I heard that fiddle in there.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So when you decided to take that step to add a fiddle to your music, I mean, do you feel like personally that's a risk at the time?
You know, I mean, that song is so different from you know, everything else I've done, but I've always wanted to use fiddle, and I think the way she did it, she kind of made it a little different. It wasn't typical kind of fiddle sound.
It wasn't like that traditional swing fiddle. It was. It's hard to explain.
But she did a really good job, and I don't know. I wanted to kind of put something out that was like, hey, I'm still country. I still have those country roots to me, and I haven't forgotten where all that came from. So.
And so, I mean, you're a songwriter as well. You're writing a lot of the stuff yourself.
Right.
And what, you're 23?
23, yeah.
So still a very young artist. So is there a lot of movement in your identity as far as a songwriter? Like, do you feel like there's still room to grow there?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm growing every day in my songwriting, and I've been doing some co-writing with some people, and that helps me, kind of evolve and kind of learn a little bit. Well, how does this songwriter think about it like this? And try to think of
just getting
things
that
differently.
feedback.
Yeah, right.
Did you feel like it was a tough step for you to go from a solo writer to sitting down for a co-write?
Definitely.
There's a lot of trust involved in that process.
Oh, yeah, and it's a lot of like, you're kind of a little bit apprehensive because you're like, man, I gotta come up with something good like right now,
And you're just like throwing some like stuff at the wall, basically.
right.
And just kind of staring at them. No, okay.
Right.
Ramen noodles.
Right. Yeah.
So we're talking about Fireworks a little bit, and was this a full length album?
It was kind of like in between. It was like a seven song album.
And this was what, like 3 years ago, I think?
Yeah, it was in 2014. It's about 4
So what was the idea at that time? Trying to be a pop artist in Texas can be pretty difficult.
Yeah, definitely. At that time, I just really wanted to just put something out there at the time and have something that I could say, well, this is me, and when I'm talking to venues or other people, oh, this is my music here. And, and so I just wanted to get something out of some of the songs I've written, and I wasn't really necessarily thinking about at that time, well, I gotta do it like this way, or oh, Texas, I don't know if they're gonna like this or something. But I really feel like...
I bet you're thinking more that way now, though, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because I know when you first start down that road, it's all about you and everything, and because you haven't had those doors slam on you yet, whether it's a venue or a radio station or whatever.
Right.
The business is ruthless, man.
It is, yeah.
So all them doors close and will make you, if not change, then at least think about changing.
Right.
And even it's even worse for females in Texas too, I think.
Yeah, it's a little harder, but you got to keep going through it. And
It hasn't stopped you though. Number 37 with the first song, which was called "I Wanna." Yeah. And guys, we're gonna put links to these songs in the description below. "I Wanna" is one of those songs. It's very heavily pop influenced, but
it is, yeah.
Guys, you're gonna be tapping your toes, and man. I'm not a huge pop music fan, and you had me hooked with that song. So, but cool. Listen to that one, and then listen to country music or Country Livin 101 back to back. You won't believe it. Were you? I've got to ask. Are you a fan of Janis Joplin at all?
A little bit, yeah. I didn't really grow up listening to her, but I've gotten to listen to her more recently, and my mom's a big fan of her. She had one of her albums.
I hear that in your voice from time to time.
Yeah.
You'll hit one of those notes and I'll be like...
Yeah, kind of bring out a little bit of Janis in there.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you were going to describe what your music is as far as genre or style, how would you describe it?
It's hard. Sometimes I'll say, well, it's country Americana, or sometimes I'll just say it's Americana. Or
this depends on the song, right?
Yeah, it kind of does, and I'm the type of writer that if it's a good song, I'm going to write it, I don't care if it's more country or if it's more pop, I'm going to write it, so
I don't know, Americana, I guess.
And what's your process for writing like? I mean, do you set aside time for yourself to sit down and write? Which, I mean, a lot of artists will do that, but there's a lot more pressure in that, actually, scheduling time. Or do you just, are you just an open vessel, and when it comes, you're ready to write it down?
For me, it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
So more recently, I've been trying to schedule time and do that, and especially with co-writers and all that. But at other times, it can just be like a spontaneous thing, like, hey, I really feel like writing right now. I'm gonna sit down and write, and
Because I know a lot of times, for a songwriter, you'll hear everyday conversation. You can be inspired by that, or TV, radio, whatever you're surrounded by.
Right.
I wouldn't know. I've never written a song, but I've interviewed a lot of songwriters, and the process is different for everybody.
Oh yeah.
So I always like to try to get behind that. Okay, so Marcy Grace, I think, is the whole package here. She's got the look, she's got the sound, but she's also a very smart girl. She graduated magna cum laude and you have a bachelor's in music industry.
I do, yeah.
So you got out of high school, and you're following the dream. You already had this dream for music.
Right.
And I'm imagining that music industry is learning about the business, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you wanted to be well-rounded in this.
Right.
So that's incredible. Congratulations,
Thank
first
you.
of all, on that.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what it was like learning the music industry as basically fresh out of high school.
Yeah. It was interesting because I didn't really know all of the kind of behind the scenes stuff, and what does a publisher do behind the scenes, and what does a booking agent do, and different parts of the industry, and so I really got to dig into every kind of job in the industry and kind of see what they do. And I had music industry classes, and I had entertainment law, and I had to take basic music theory and all that too. So I really got a well-rounded kind of
So you can do all of those jobs now.
yeah, right. Yeah.
That's the cool thing about being a musician. You're almost like a parent, really, because you have to wear so many different hats.
Right.
Especially when you're first starting out, because you don't have people.
Right.
I mean, people come with success. So when you're an independent artist, you're your own booking agent, your own publisher, your own everything. So it seems like even as a young person in high school, you knew this is what you wanted to do, and I want to know as much about this as I can.
Right.
And I think that's extremely mature for someone your age at the time. And here you are. I mean, you've got chart success. So what are you hoping is next for you?
Yeah. Well, we are working on a new album.
Yeah.
So it's about time, But yeah, we're
Soon?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, we're going in the studio this month,
All right.
and into next month as well, and we're looking at releasing it this spring, and we're excited to get some new music out there and finally get some updated songs and everything. So.
Well, we'd love to have you back when the album comes out.
Oh, cool! Yeah.
Definitely help you get the word out on that.
Absolutely.
That would
Thank
be
you.
cool. No problem. Okay, so, typically we will send an artist that we're interested in interviewing a questionnaire out, and it's like 2021 questions. We always feel really appreciative when an artist fills it out, so thank you for actually taking the time to do that. But one of the questions I that we typically ask is, and I'll read it to y'all, is have you experienced a time when your music has impacted someone's life? This is a question that, obviously each artist is going to answer this differently, but music is so cool in that it impacts people's lives daily. And a lot of times it can do that without even someone realizing that it's impacting their life.
Yeah.
But you wrote a song called Angel Spread Your Wings.
Yeah.
So tell us the reasoning behind writing this song and kind of the effect it had on certain people.
Yeah. Well, some time ago, I think it was the summer that I graduated high school, or maybe, it was that summer. And somebody that went to high school with, his little sister passed away in a boating accident that summer. And they live kind of diagonal behind us, in our neighborhood. But we weren't super close, but we kind of knew about each other and, talked every once in a while. And I don't know, after I heard about that, I just felt like I needed to write this song. I don't know, where I got the idea from, but I just sat down and started writing. And I just felt like I wanted to write something for that family and in remembrance of her. and just to have something that can maybe help them in that time. And so I wrote this song about her, and it was just I wanted to make it kind of inspiring. And
it's a beautiful song.
Thank you.
I would not have guessed that you wrote that while in high school.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, right out of high school, I wrote that.
That's amazing. So we had mentioned earlier on the show that Marcy is 23, and not a whole lot of life experiences yet, but so I imagine as a songwriter, you're probably taking a lot from other people's experiences, right?
Definitely. I think what's cool about songwriting is you can kind of take pieces from the world and what you see in other people's lives and kind of have something that inspires a song from that, and it's still, I still kind of believe it's still putting you in the song because it might be something that, well, hey, what would I do in this situation?
Yeah. And that's what I was going to ask is you're writing a song that's not necessarily about something you lived.
Right.
So when you write it, I mean, that's fine, but when you perform the song, how do you connect with the song when you haven't lived it?
Right. So writing it, I just got to kind of imagine myself in that position and what I would do. And
so you're almost an actress at that point,
too.
Yeah,
pretty much, Right. So I'm able to kind of put myself in that song and imagine myself doing that thing or reacting that way to the song.
Do you feel like when you try to write a song or lyrics about an actual life experience, does it make it more difficult for you because you're more connected to it now?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, if you lived it and now you're trying to write it, that makes you feel a little more vulnerable than if you're just writing about someone else's.
Right, there's a lot more emotions involved in that. Definitely.
So do you struggle with that?
I don't know, not really.
Okay.
I sometimes it'll take me longer to finish that song if it's more personal. But most of the time it comes out,
All right, so one thing we usually ask an artist, and we haven't asked you yet, is about your influences. Now, I'm really looking forward to this answer from you because, I mean, your sound is all over the place. Each song is completely different than the other. So first, tell us some of your musical influences and maybe some of the people that have mentored you over the years as well.
Yeah, definitely, growing up, my favorite artist was Alicia Keys.
Okay.
It's she's still my number one favorite artist. But Alicia Keys, Sheryl Crow, Linda Ronstadt, people like that I grew up listening to, and I guess they've kind of influenced my music a little bit, and people that have mentored me. My dad actually is was a musician and had a band when I was growing up, and he actually plays bass in my band right now. Yeah.
That's cool. What's the name of your band?
It's Marcy Grace Band.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. And so are you playing predominantly just around the San Antonio area?
Right now, yeah. We played at the Rustic in Dallas last night, and that was a great time. That was our first time playing in Dallas and as a band, and we really enjoyed it. And so we're definitely looking to expand, our range of shows.
Very cool. And what's been your favorite place to play so far?
Oh man. I really like Sam's Burger Joint in San Antonio.
Okay.
It's more of a music hall, and the sound is really great on that stage, and it's just a fun place to play.
And hopefully we'll get out to San Antonio someday. I haven't seen the Alamo or anything like that yet. I've lived in Texas 17 years. This will be my 17th year here. Never been to San Antonio.
Yeah.
And I've seen the pictures of the Riverwalk. It's beautiful there.
Oh, it is. I really like San Antonio. So let me know when you come to San Antonio.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely do that. So I guess I've got one final question for you, and this is a lot of times this is the hardest question for an artist to answer, believe it or not. Okay. And it's a very simple question. Yeah. Who is Marcy Grace?
I think Marcy Grace is a unique voice in the Americana market. Unique, powerful, fun, energizing musician. Yeah.
And so, I mean, you just basically summed it up. I mean, yeah, very, very powerhouse vocals. If you met Marcy in person, you would never guess that's coming out of that because she's very sweet and shy, and I hate using the word demure, but I think it definitely applies to what you bring. And very, very cool person. And guys, we're going to be right back with Marcy Grace right after this.
Hey y'all, this is Bree Bagwell. Thank you for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
Okay, so we are back, and Marcy Grace has promised to play another song for us. And this one here is called Warning Signs. So tell us a little bit about the story behind this song and how it got to be written.
Yeah, I actually wrote this with a co-writer, and his name is Scott Barrier out in Nashville. And we got together one day, and he was like, well, I know you've written a few of those Bad Girl songs. He was like, so I want to write one of those with you. And so we kind of were brainstorming a little bit and, just talking about, well, maybe we told him, well, you should have seen it coming, or something like that. And he was like, yeah, maybe like Warning Signs. And we're like, I think that's the title of our song.
Cool. Yeah. So before we get to Warning Signs, I just have one last question. Now,
Sure.
A lot of times when you're playing solo acoustic, obviously it's going to sound completely different than when it's fully produced in the studio.
Sure.
And you're no different than any artist in that aspect. So how much input are you giving to the producers into what you want in certain pieces instrumentally in a song?
Yeah. It's pretty much me that produces it, and I have a co-producer as well. But yeah, it's really just me telling him, what I want for the song and kind of the sound, and he'll also put in his input as well as, as, hey, maybe we can add some of this here, or maybe some organ here. But mostly I already kind of have the song laid out in my head. So.
Incredible stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Warning Signs by Marcy Grace. Y'all don't go anywhere.
Try to let you know that I
So we are back. That was Warning Signs. These are both new songs here on the episode today, and we found out that El Camino might be the next single.
Yes.
That you heard a little bit earlier in the show, and if so, I think that song's going to do really well.
Oh,
Country Livin 101's on the charts right now. If you want to hear that song, you can do that probably on your webpage. You can hear it. You can also hear it on YouTube. Go listen to the song, and if you like the song, and you will, then you're going to want to call your local radio stations and get that song played, because it's hard in Texas for a female, y'all. So let's get that song moved up. To have a top 40 hit as a debut single as a female in Texas is a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that.
you.
What's Country Livin 101 at right now?
It is at 50.
So you've got 2 top 50 hits.
Yeah.
First 2 songs as a female. Incredible stuff. If people are hearing about Marcy Grace for the first time, where can they follow along with you?
Yeah, my website is marcygrace.com, and then all of my social media links is Marcy Grace Music.
So Marcy Grace Music everywhere. You have Snapchat?
I don't.
God, yes! We have an artist without a Snapchat, finally. I mean, I know 45-year-old Texas Red Dirt artists that are rocking a Snapchat.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Just don't get Snapchat, y'all.
Yeah, it just doesn't click with me. I like Instagram, I like Facebook, and
Twitter?
yeah, Twitter.
See, I don't mind those 3, but now they're trying to confuse me. Because it's saying stuff like, add to your story. What is this nonsense?
Yeah.
I don't want to add to my story. You know?
Yeah.
Like, just keep it simple.
Right.
I don't know. How important is social media to you?
Very important.
Is it more so to reach your fans, or more so to just try to get the venues to book you?
Both. I think more so of reaching the fans,
Yeah.
though. And kind of getting to show them a different side of me, like maybe, hey, I'm making tamales today with my family, or, I don't know.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Pictures of food.
Yeah.
That's what Instagram was invented for.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so guys, we've been sitting here chatting with Marcy Grace, episode 217. First time for Marcy on the show. Definitely want to thank you and Mom for coming out and visiting with us today.
Thank you.
And we hope to have you back in the spring when the record's out.
Definitely.
So you guys be looking for the new record. This is going to be exciting stuff. She does have one EP out already called Fireworks. Remember to keep on requesting Country Livin 101 to your local radio station, wherever you are, even if you live in Antarctica. That's a tough word to say on a Sunday afternoon.
Definitely.
But I got it. It's Antarctica. Yes! All right, so Marcy Grace, first time on the ETX ROCKS Show. It's Marcy Grace Music all over social media. You guys do not know how important it is to an artist to support them on social media. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Marcy Grace Music. Hit that like button. It'll take you less than 0.6 seconds, and you'll be making Marcy's day. I promise you on that. If you're following along with the ETX ROCKS Show for the first time, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're located at ETX ROCKS. All of our funding completely depends on viewers and listeners like you out there. So if you want to donate to the show, we would definitely appreciate that. And you can do so at www.paypal.me/ETXRocks. We'll take anything from 50 cents to $1 million. Nothing over $1 million. $1,000,001 just changes the tax bracket. It goes from like 20% to 35%.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't even know if that's true. But $1 million, just pull your friends, check your couch cushions. We'll take it all. As we always say on this show, we want to thank you guys out there for always supporting live music of all genres and all styles. And don't you ever forget,
ETX rocks.
That's right.
Howdy folks, this is Aaron Watson.
This is Bree Bagwell.
This is Jake. And this is Walter from Rocky Queen.
This is Curtis Grimes.
Monty Pittman.
This is Doug Supernon.
I'm Heather Little.
This is Rob Redwine.
Ho! Hey folks, I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Hey guys, I'm Katie Lynn, and make sure to tune in to ETX Rocks with
Boston Chris.
Hello, y'all. This is Ronnie Millsap, and thanks for tuning in to the ETX ROCKS Show.
Tough guy. Ho!
Hey guys, we're Black Top Mojo, and thank you for tuning in to ETX Rocks.